Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Tara, a farmer in Northern California, and this channel is all about my farming journey. If you're liking my videos, please give them a thumbs up. It means so much to me, guys. All right, let's go. Howdy everybody. I recently came down with a really bad head cold. I'm on day 3 right now. The very first day I was just like blowing my nose constantly, and then yesterday was definitely the worst. I ended up taking the day off work and just staying home. I mean, things are somewhat slow over here, so it was an okay time to take the day off. I just rested all day because I had like so much pressure in my head. And then this morning I woke up feeling slightly better, but still like runny nose and just feeling a little bit congested. It is ridiculously gorgeous today. Like, I am not even kidding. Phone down. I went outside to take care of my chickens, and I just like couldn't even believe how gorgeous it was. I think when I looked at the weather, it was 68 degrees and it was supposed to get to 70. So that was like, I mean, when I looked at it earlier this week, I think it was supposed to be about like 60, 62, and all of a sudden it's 70. So it feels like spring here. It's gorgeous weather. I have this really thin long sleeve shirt on just because I'm going to be working around weeds and stuff. And I was like, well, I better have a long sleeve shirt on. Plus, I was looking through Carhartt stuff, and they've got some like sweat wicking fabric. And I've been looking for some new long sleeve gear that I can wear during the summer when we irrigate, because the corn gets so itchy. So I figure this would be a good time to test it out. So anyways, I'm not sure how long I'm gonna make it out here because my face is still all like bleh, but I'm gonna try to get some weeds out and enjoy this super gorgeous day. And I also believe, you know, when you're really, really sick, yes, you definitely need to rest. But I also think like getting some fresh air and moving and stuff like that is good for me too. I'm lucky that it's not the flu. If it was the flu, it would be a different story. Anyway, so I'm gonna try to get a little bit of work done. I want to show you guys really quick an example of pruning. We are not going to start pruning for a couple more weeks, and I will have a crew come through to do it, but I think it's important for me to know what I'm doing and what to look for when the pruning is getting done. I am in no way a professional, so if you're watching this and you are a professional, you'll probably see mistakes, but I'm doing the best I can. Anyways, I'm gonna just show you guys really quick how my vines are gonna get pruned in a couple weeks. Here's an example of a vine. I've still got a little bit of weeds around it. This is called a grow tube. So when they were planted, they all had this little tube put around it. It's kind of like paper. And the vines, when they were first planted, were only about this tall, you know, maybe 6 inches out of the ground. And this grow tube was like a little greenhouse for it. So a lot of the grow tubes, some have kind of fallen off over time, some are there, some I've thrown into the middle. They'll just pretty much get distant and they'll break down eventually. First thing I'm gonna do is just clean up the weeds around it. This is pretty much just for myself. Next, I'm gonna pull off this grow tube. There's a little bit of green tape holding it on. It's already started deteriorating a little bit. And I'm just pretty much throwing it into the row. It'll get distant, it'll deteriorate over time. Like I said, it's kind of a paper. Okay, so I got all that cleaned up. So now I'm gonna come through. All of these need to come off. These are all spurs that we don't need. Pretty much what we want the vine to be at the ground, and we want it to be clean all the way up to here. So I'm gonna take my loppers JK, left the loppers in my Kubota. I've got these pruning shears. They're Felco brand. I remember when I first started like deciding that I was gonna grow grapes, I was like, I have to get a pair of Felco pruning shears. I don't know why. It just was like, that was the thing. It was like, okay, I'm a grape grower if I've got my Felco pruning shears. Silly little things, right? All right, so normally I would have my big loppers to do this, but I left them in my ride. So pretty much you're just gonna cut these as close to the vine as I can. All right, pull those guys off. Also just throwing the vines into the middle. I'm probably gonna have someone come through and chop these up really tiny, and they can get disced back in. You know, that's just material back into the ground. So there, we've got pretty clean. All these little extras can come off. So if any of you are wondering about this bulge here you see, this is actually a rootstock here, and then it's grafted in this area, and my variety is on top. So the rootstock I planted on is called SO4. It does well with my soil and our high water table. And then here is like put together like a puzzle piece, and then on top is Sauvignon Blanc. And if you didn't know, that's what I'm growing, 50 acres of Sauvignon Blanc. I'm gonna cut off all these little extra tendrils. There's just no need for any of them. So the next thing is, my training system is a little unique. There are some other farmers that do it. I wouldn't be doing it if there wasn't. It's really cool. The Crop Duster Airport is directly across the river from the vineyard. So whenever he's going in and out for anything, he flies over us. So it's kind of cool because, I mean, it's right there. So anytime he goes in and out, he's flying over us. So as I was saying, my training is a little unique. There are other farmers who do it, or I wouldn't be doing it myself. And someone that I look up to and think is very successful told me that this is the only way he would train anything from now on that's on a quad, which I'll explain. There's two really popular trainings. One is called bilateral, and this cross arm, instead of facing this direction, it would go this way. And the vine would come up and one arm would go that way and one arm would go that way. And that would be a bilateral, and that would be it. Now this was set up for a quad. So you have the cross arm here, and then you would have a split up here, and so from here it would split into two, just like it is. Then you would have one arm come here, and you'd have one arm go that way, and you would have one arm go this way. And it would be the same on this side. Here it would split that direction. So that would be a typical quad, an H train. So if you were looking from up above down, it would look like an H. What I ended up doing is called a quad S train, which is actually more like a bilateral because I only have two arms, but the wire and the cross arm is set up like you would have for a quad. So on mine, it has the same, the cross arm like a quad, it comes up into the center, but instead, once you get to here, I only have one arm that goes that direction and up, and one arm and that goes that direction. I don't have this second arm. So what's gonna cover this wire here is the vine that's down there. It's gonna come up to here. So the reason it's called an S is if you were looking from up above down, it would look like S versus the H. If I'm being totally honest, I can't remember all the reasons why I chose the S over the H. At the time, I know I was doing a lot of research between the two to decide what was right. And there's really nothing wrong with the H. It was mainly talking to other people that grow grapes that said, you know, the S is the only way I'll go from now on. I know one just like small reason was the time it takes to cut this and put two arms down. So that was one thing. There were definitely cons. You know, if I break an arm, I'm essentially losing 50% of my vine, versus if I broke an arm on an H, you're only losing 25%. So I'll have to look through my notes and tell you guys some more reasons, because obviously I chose this, so there were some important reasons. Hi, Kevin. I saw some mice out here, Kevin. Where were you? Where were you, huh? This, let's see. So this is actually, this is to that vine down there. So we're gonna come up in this area. We don't need this arm at all. Get that off. We are playing again. So we're pretty much gonna chop anything off that's over the cross arm. We just don't need that at all. So the next thing is we've got this arm. It's pretty much, it's fully grown. It's actually past this point. Here's the next cross arm here. So I'm gonna cut it here. There's no need for it to go farther than that. So what I'm doing is called spur pruning. So we're gonna leave this arm, and every year we're just gonna cut off on these small guys, and we're gonna be leaving 2 buds. This right here is a bud. But there we've got 1 bud, and there we've got 2, so we cut it. So every one of these, we're gonna cut for 2 buds. So let's see, we've got... And then every one of these buds, I believe, has 2 clusters in it. So that right there is next year's fruit. So we want to be careful to take care of those guys, because if they get knocked off, that's my next year's crop. So like this, you, this guy right here, you ignore that one. And then here I've got another one. So you would count that as 1 and that one as 2. And there you go. So we got 1 arm pruned there. And I'm gonna go ahead and go over to the next side and do it too. All right, and there's that side finished. Like I said already, I am no expert. I took some classes at Napa Valley Junior College that I was able to prune some and learn a little bit. This is really just the basics, but like if you have a grapevine in your backyard that you want to train, you can do it like this. Bilateral is really great because you can just put it right on a fence and have it grow on a fence. But that's the basics of pruning. I'll be doing what I can, but mainly a crew's gonna be out here doing it because you want it done, you know, generally within a short time frame if you can help it. But that's that. Wow, this one's really crazy. That one needs a lot of work. This will be a big year. This is a big training year. All right, back to pulling weeds. Because I got a little bit sick this week, we didn't get the sprayer done, but that's okay. I might actually see if my dad wants to work on it this weekend or early next week, so it'll all work out. The weather has been great, and I think we're supposed to get a little bit of rain, but I think I'll be able to jump in here as soon as we get the sprayer fixed up. This area here you can see is not as bad. I actually didn't knock any weeds down here. There's a little bit, but the whole vineyard isn't as bad as I've shown in other videos. And the spray that I'm going to spray, it's going to get all this stuff, all that greenery there. So there are definitely some bad areas that in the past videos made me feel overwhelmed. But now that I'm really driving down all the rows, there's just like sections. And once I get them out, the rest of the row is pretty clean. So I'm feeling a little bit more confident, and we're just going to keep moving right along. I'm still using the shovel a lot, but like some of this stuff right now, I'm pretty much just cutting it like that just to get it out of the way. Where before I was really trying to dig up roots, and at this point it's like, let's just get it out. The spray can handle the rest of that, and that is definitely helping me move quicker because I can just get it. I mean, some stuff it wasn't a big deal to shovel, but some of this stuff is definitely quicker, just pretty much pruning it down. Gonna let the spray handle the rest. We'll be doing some pre-emergent as well. So it is kind of a balancing game to see what is actually quicker. Is it spraying or is it just trimming it like this? The main thing is just to get it off the berm, so when we spray, the spray actually hits the green stuff. All right, I got another row done today. I'm feeling pretty good. I think coming out today was a good idea. The fresh air, there's a little bit of a breeze now. It's just such a beautiful day, and I'm glad I got out. I feel like I needed the sun, I needed the fresh air. I've just been so stuffy. I might regret it tomorrow, we'll see. Because pulling the weeds and all like the seeds and stuff has been getting my allergies going, so that's not gonna help on top of having a cold. But anyways, it was a great little couple hours in the vineyard, and now I'm gonna go home, take care of my chickens again. I think I need to clean out their nesting boxes, and we'll see how I'm feeling. Oh my gosh, okay, I drove down a row that I hadn't weeded yet, so there's a couple I need to do, but I just drove past this one and I couldn't leave it. I could not leave it. Y'all, this is my foot. Look how big it is. What the heck? I don't even know what this is. It's actually really pretty. But it's coming out. Ooh, that thing's got some spikes on it. I couldn't leave it. I could not leave it. It was too big. Careful, Kevin, don't step on it. You don't want to step on that guy. No. Okay, heading back. I could not leave that. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed my video today. If you want to continue following my farming journey, especially in the vineyard, this is a really big year. I hope you give my video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. It means so much to me. I hope you guys have a great day.